for calling.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome in. You have now entered the RDU Live Radio Show right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY. I'm your host, Cam McCarty. I appreciate you for listening. If you're listening out there on the roadways, reach over, turn us up, but make sure you're buckling up. It's rush hour traffic right now. It's a Tuesday at 6 p.m. And out there on Glenwood, 540, wherever you might be, the cars are stacking up. Just want to make sure you're staying safe. And if you're listening out there, listening and or watching on one of the streams, YouTube, Facebook, Live 365, I appreciate you as well. Hey, go ahead, put something in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're listening. And don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. They say it helps the algorithm or something like that. And no matter where you are, whether you're in the Triangle or around the world on one of the streams, we always like to say this is a call-in show, and that means when we're not playing music, the phone lines are wide open. And that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Look, we got a jam-packed show today. We actually got somebody sitting in the studio with us across from me. We got the man himself. We got Mr. Alan Thompson. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, bro? Has it been exactly a year since the last time we did this?
It's just shy of a year. We're making that turnaround, man. I appreciate you for coming back on in here.
Man, it feels good to be back. You know, last year, right? It also rained.
It rained on the same day you were on the show, and you were like one of my first artist guests on the show, man. Like number 2, I want to say. CJ
Really?
Baker was number 1 and you were number 2, man. Man,
that's crazy.
You jumped in this thing with us, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Hey, yo, I'm humbled, man. Like I'm humbled.
I'm humbled to be sitting across from you. So we're gonna jump in and have this conversation in just a second. If you've been listening to the show, you know we always start the show off with something that's real, that's relevant to the Triangle of the world at large. And today I just got a couple housekeeping tips. Couple things to talk about. Once again, it's Tuesday. You already know. Tuesday, CJ Baker and the crew, open mic night, Durham Beer Garden. Every week we shout them out because they're consistent. They're consistent. Tuesdays at the Durham Beer Garden in downtown Durham, CJ Baker and the crew. They always have a featured artist to start off, and then afterwards it's an open mic jam session. Bring your rhymes, bring your music, bring your instruments.
Yo, shout out to CJ Baker though.
Shout out to CJ Baker.
Yo, the cool thing about CJ, CJ's always shouting people out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's cool to me, like when you can tell people are genuine and gratitude is there. It's cool to see that gratitude go full circle.
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm gonna have to slide out there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll probably be out there tonight. So if you want to, come have a conversation with us, come on through, and it's a welcoming atmosphere. Come on, CJ Baker. You already know Tuesdays is open mic at the Durham Beer Garden, downtown Durham. Somebody else I want to shout out real quick. He doesn't know I'm doing it, but he's my guy, Travis Bullitt.
Ooh.
And Travis Bullitt, he's got a show coming up on Thursday at 7 p.m. at Raleigh Times, downtown Raleigh.
Bro, is it the Mary Jane show?
It's not the Mary Jane show. It's premium sound band.
I mean, that's equally as good.
It's good. Yeah, he's probably going to, I can almost imagine he's going to do some cuts from Rick James, but it's not the full experience. If you hadn't seen the Mary Jane show, that's one you got to go see. But this Thursday, Travis Bullitt, premium sound band, they're going to be over at the Raleigh Times.
Nice.
Thursday at 7 p.m. Whether it's Mary Jane or he's just doing his thing, he's one of the best performers in the Triangle. Always have to shout him out when I can. And much appreciation to Trav as well. Actually, for myself, I rarely do this, but I was featured in a little magazine article, Voyage Raleigh. Did a
Man,
little
you better
something
toot
like
your
that.
own horn, bro.
And,
Come through with it.
little something like that. So, one, go read the article, but more importantly, shout out to the people at Voyage Raleigh for thinking enough of me and McCarty Tech TV, RDU Live, and all the people associated with it to want to feature us and have that conversation. So much appreciation to Voyage Raleigh. If you ever get a chance, go to voyageraleigh.com and look up McCarty Tech TV or Cameron McCarty, one of the two. And the article should pull up or something like that. All right?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. That's all. You know, I got an artist today. I just had to hit on a couple things. I got a person. So, you know, Alan Thompson, you're here, and I just want to give a quick intro to who you are. You know, you're a musician, a saxophonist, right? You know, a saxophonist, and you've been doing that for a while, and we're gonna kind of dive into some of the nitty gritty. But you're also, you know, radio host, journalist. You're an entrepreneur, father, all the above, husband.
Yeah, man.
You know,
heavy on the husband.
Heavy on the husband.
You gotta let them know sometimes. You know, sometimes they ask questions. You gotta give them answers.
There you go.
Heavy on the husband.
Heavy on the husband. And so, you know, well-rounded individual, always, you know, all on or off the air, always good to have a conversation with Alan. The take and the ideas that's up here from you, man. They're always interested and they're always flowing. So I'm always appreciative when you can come sit across from us and have this conversation, man.
Hey, man, you know, like when we were texting the other night, you know, we were talking about this interview. I told you, like, shoot your shot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an open book, and nowadays I'm in more of a position where I can just be like super honest and transparent and open with myself and people around me. So I really appreciate like the genuine conversations, you know. So shoot your shot, bro.
Yeah, no, and that's one reason that I appreciate having you on, is because I appreciate having those genuine conversations and with people who are able to articulate themselves, and that's what this whole show is about. So you mentioned something there real quick off the top. We're gonna get into this thing. You said that you feel a little more open. And you can express yourself in a certain way. What's changed with you, you know, in the last whenever to make you feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, let's just talk about the last year.
Last year.
Last year. For one, so we are approaching August, mid-July. For me, this marks a year of sobriety.
Wow.
Yeah, like I quit drinking a year ago. You know, it was getting real, you know, a little hectic. You know, being an artist, we get exposed to so many different things, you know, like drugs and alcohol and all types of stuff, you know. Yeah. So, you know, drinking had become such a habitual thing that I felt like I depended on it, you know. So I got myself substance therapy.
Wow.
What
was the catalyst that made you like say, hey, this has to change?
One, it was my wife.
Wow.
You know, it was my wife, you know.
Heavy on the husband.
Yeah, heavy on the husband, heavy on the wife. She told me, you know, she had some conversations with me. This was coming like knee deep into the pandemic, right?
Okay.
You know, cats are not working.
Yeah.
You know, cats are not making money. You know, and depression is like right around the corner. Anytime you're not making moves and you're not making money, you know. The idle mind is the devil's playground.
Yeah.
So I really just started depending more on like these substances. It got to the point where I was drinking like, I was drinking like, you know, 2 pints a day. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting in front of my computer, just, you know, doing work, trying to make beats and stuff like that. You know, going to work, you know what I'm saying? Pouring up before I go to work. It got real crazy. My wife just stopped me and she was just like, yo, like I smell this room, you know what I'm saying? Like I smell it on you, like, you know, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, you got a problem, and it's obvious that this is starting to consume you. So if this is the route that you're gonna go, you can go this route without us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And she told me straight up, you know, and it really hit me on the head. And then what was even crazier than that was like my kids were starting to pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you got your son and your daughter coming at you like, yo, dad, like, you know what I'm saying? You good?
Yeah.
You know, and nah, I'm not good.
Yeah.
You know?
So
I you know, I checked my into some like real intense therapy, and from that I started uncovering like childhood trauma. You know, so I was drinking trauma away.
Wow.
Yeah, word up, trauma victim. So I'm celebrating the year of sobriety.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
also quit vaping too.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people don't talk about that, but like, you know, like vaping is crazy, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
vaping is,
you know, and I'm not, you know, and there's like a few companies out there that's like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, just how they mass market to kids,
young people. That's really where I mean, of course, anyone, but that whole vaping market concept, they went heavy with young people. Like when they came out, like maybe it was about 10 years ago, it kind of became heavy somewhere in there. It's been around for a long time, but like in the last 10 years, they went heavy on the marketing to young people, man. It's insane because you can do it indoors.
Oh yeah, and I was getting it in for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember pulling up to the church, like what I'm saying, like I gotta use the bathroom real good.
It's odorless, right?
Yeah, and so it's like those things. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed. To not have to have done it alone. I had my whole family like supporting me and stuff like that. And it's a real good feeling now. Not waking up in the morning with crazy hangovers. The most I do, nowadays it's like a cigar. I'm saying? Like little cigar. The technology is good now because we have, like these NA beers, these non-alcoholic beers and
that's
stuff
right.
Like that. And
that's
right.
Like, you get the taste and
and a lot of them, they taste actually better to me, in my opinion. You can remove alcohol from like certain like Prosecco's and stuff like that. It's
interesting. Dope. Man, congratulations and shout out to your wife and your family for being there on that journey with you, man. That's huge, man. That's huge. We don't talk about things like that enough, in my opinion. And like the struggle and then coming out of it and like figuring out, and being able to make the change. Sometimes people know that they're not in a good way, but they're not able to make the change or they don't have the support, whatever the case is. And just, taking this 20 seconds to just celebrate that for you, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's huge. What else has been going on with you, man?
Yeah. So it's like with sobriety, I think it's only natural that I'm now relearning how to navigate as an artist, as a creative, as a musician, being in these spaces, how to navigate. That's kind of been my main thing, and people been hitting me up like hey, you got some more shows coming up, or you got some more, you leading some more sessions and stuff like that. Last month, I had the honor of filling in for a friend and mentor of mine, Jeremy Bean Clemens, amazing drummer that lives in the area. He went out on the road with a very known band, Burning Spear, and
wow.
And he allowed me to fill in for him while he was gone for like a month. So a whole month, like I'm playing jazz trio at Kingfisher, and it was amazing. And I didn't really pub it like people would expect me to.
Yeah.
It was like my first time, reintroducing myself. With this new scene.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make anything feel forced. So I kind of wanted to be open-minded. I'm coming into a new space, so I want to get acquainted with the people that are already in this space. The people that the patrons that already support this space. Now, the more we started to kind of sink into it every week I was playing with a different rhythm section. So thing is with like jazz trio, and jazz for lack of better words, because we know it's Black American music.
Right.
Let's keep that straight up.
Yeah.
So with this style. Saxophone, acoustic bass, and drums.
Okay.
It's a challenge. It's a different thing. In most music, like modern music, a lot of people brains are programmed to hear chords.
It's like keys and
or
guitar or something.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a saxophonist, I can only play one note at a time. So without chords, I really got to know the song. I really got to know the music, and in improvisation, I really have to know what's going on with the chords. It's like just because they're not there doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge them as a melodic instrument. So, I really had to dive into the shed and like do my homework and listen to this, because to me it's like a whole style. Like there's iconic records that you can check out where it's just trio. One of the records that stands in mind to me is John Coltrane's Lush Life.
Shout out to Coltrane.
Where he's playing the saxophone and you got like drums and bass, and I think there's like maybe one recording or two recording. I think actual Lush Life was a 5-piece. I think Donald Byrd was playing trumpet and he had I forgot who's playing piano on that album, but that was my inspiration.
Gotcha.
And we had a great time. Now, like week 3 or 4. I'm like, man, let me make some flyers. Like we in here, we knee deep in it. So actually, I think I'm supposed to be playing there like in the next couple of weeks. Like I'm doing like 2 dates there. That's also every Tuesday.
That's what I was just about to say. That's every Tuesday night. They're doing what, 8 to 10 is what it is now.
Yeah.
Because they moved it up. It used to be later.
I think it is 8 to 10:30.
8 to 10:30. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like go to Kingfisher at 8. You know what I'm saying? Get you some of that. Then stop by the Durham Beer Garden. Get you some of that.
That is legitimately that's the thing to do. That's a date night. Hey, we're just trying to get you game.
Yo, listen, you gotta keep it interesting, yo.
You gotta keep it interesting, And so you mentioned a couple of things there. You kind of going through some changes and positive changes.
Yeah.
And you're like you said something about reintroducing yourself on the music scene, and I kind of want to dig into that just a little bit. When you say the music scene, the new music scene, so you come up in the era, 10 years ago, that kind of deal. And I want you to kind of explain a little bit better than me. And so now, what's the difference in the scene? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, when I talk about the scene, I talk about like the culture and the community. Some people associate the scene. Well, you can also put venues in the scene too. Venues are also a very important part of the scene. Having business owners that have establishments that advocate for not just having live music, but advocate for and champion behind like these local artists.
The local artists,
and that was one thing that I saw when I moved here. I moved here in 2010 by way of North Carolina Central University. HBCU loves stand up. I was there in the jazz studies program.
Amazing program, man. I got a lot of
a lot of titans. We've lost a few titans over the year. Mad respect. Rest in peace to Arnold George.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Brian Horton. Two amazing professors that poured a lot, not only into me but into the community. So like it was exciting moving here in 2010 because I already knew about the jazz scene. Like I'm gonna just be honest with you. I was bred into this music. I was exposed not only to the music at an early age, but I was exposed to very serious musicians at an early age. So it's like you mix. So I was going to church on Sundays, but like you know what I'm saying, like Tuesdays through Saturdays, I was like tiptoeing in them clubs. And some of my mentors who were like in college at the time, and some of them were older as well. They were my chaperones. They were my mentors, and they were allowing me to play in these places and really giving me game.
Yeah,
a lot of kids don't have that. A lot of teenagers don't have that. Like I'm trying to teach my daughter right now, and she's in middle school, and that was around the time when I started gigging. You know what I'm saying? She's excelling in public school band, but the thing is, there's so much that if you're only doing that, you're not exposed to.
You're not exposed.
Like public school band is not going to teach you how to put on a show. It's not gonna teach you how to get booked. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna teach you how to connect with people. You're kind of stuck with that sheet music.
Yeah. What instrument does she play?
She play a lot of different instruments.
Wow.
I'm not even gonna front with you. This
multi-instrument.
This week is euphonium. Last week it was trombone.
Wow.
She got a saxophone. She dabbles and she experiments. But she's also serious about her craft. So.
Nice, man. That's always good to hear. Younger generation exploring and all that kind of stuff.
And I've veered off. My bad.
No, you're fine. We're having a conversation.
Yeah. So you're talking about then versus now. Man, like I think that there's a lot of room for growth in the scene, but as far as just like equity, advocating for artists in the area, I think it's gotten a lot worse. It's gotten worse. And I think that a lot of people are under the. I don't really know what people are thinking right now. So, that's why I try to make it my business to go out to, different spots and support artists and, just kind of, because a lot of these artists are like my peers, they're my friends. So I try to pick their brain, and I feel like the most important questions to ask are, do you feel like you're getting a fair shot in the scene? Do you feel like you're getting the exposure and are you getting paid?
Yeah, that's quiet as it's kept. People don't like to have that conversation around music, like it's so taboo. But it's a business, and these musicians, yes, they are artists. There's a place for art. That's the principal part of it. But they're also business people. Like Absolutely. A musician is an entrepreneur in a sense, right? Like you And so
I mean, bro, I ain't just out here for my health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm out here for the wealth too.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. And I ask about the same because I'm always interested to for people who are in it like yourself. How do you view it? How do you view the support? How do you view the venues and their support by and large in this area, in the Triangle? How do you kind of see that right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of division.
Gotcha.
For one,
Gotcha.
I feel like most musicians don't know how to network with people outside of the musicians.
Yeah.
Then I feel like you have venue owners.
Mm-hmm.
You have venue owners that also don't know how to network with people outside of the venue owner network.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every once in a while you get a few people that get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like myself who make a conscious effort to not only build a relationship with musicians, but also build a relationship with these owners. These people that own these venues. That's those people are important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we're important too.
Yeah.
And I think some people out there. Unfortunately, we live in a society that's driven by power, and people that are power hungry don't like the idea of feeling like they need other people.
Yeah, and that's I've been running across that in this area, and not to say that everyone is like this, but that concept of people not being able to network outside of their own silo. The one of the whole reasons this whole RDU Live thing is even here is because of realizing the concept that musicians need business owners, musicians and business owners need media. Media needs people to cover. Like, and it's just like this, it creates an ecosystem.
Yeah, media, bro. Like, I totally forgot about media as well. Like, those people are important. I get a chance to talk to a lot of sound techs and a lot of sound engineers, and content creators, videographers, and stuff like that. And they're also struggling to find that medium. Like, we're all struggling for the same thing. And I think we're all maneuvering as artists. It's like there's this divide between things that we want to do and things that we have to do.
Right.
For bread. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, I feel like a lot of sound engineers end up getting jobs that pay literally a little bit more money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To do some stuff and be in some spaces that they don't necessarily want to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Venue owners are the same thing. Like, I've met some very creative venue owners who have like all these ideas about transforming spaces and stuff like that, who really think about the architecture and think about like the acoustics involved with what they're working with. But a lot of times, it's hard trying to
make that investment.
Yeah, make that investment, and then it's like sometimes you feel like you're not going to get that much of a return when you deal with the local artists.
Right.
So that means now you got these venue owners, especially, like the ones that are in the live music, like they're going out of town and like, booking people from outside and, rolling the red carpet in for them and stuff like that. And I feel like, if just an ounce of that energy was put into like actually investing into the local talent, then, our community would be a more vibrant place.
Wow.
And especially because it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, a lot of these artists, bro, at this point, what I'm saying, like, as far as like me and my peers, a lot of these artists they bringing out of town, bro,
are not as good.
Some of them are trash, but there's trash everywhere.
There's trash, yeah.
But also, it's like, we speak the same language.
Yeah.
From an artistic, musical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't be knowing that. It's like, some of these people are my peers. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got homies from Baltimore. That are really like, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I got homies from DC. I got homies from New York, from LA that are like literally a text or a call away. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like a lot of these venue owners, because they're not in tune with the scene, they don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you got such and such and you bringing them to their venue and it's like I pull up and they like, oh, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm like, good. They looking crazy because it's like, yo, you not plugged into the culture.
Yeah.
And it's like we could have been plugging y'all into the culture. But it's like, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and also it's like it's a superiority, it's a power complex. It's like how can you know more than me?
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate and is whack. And that's one of the things that's killing our culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's like putting the spark out some of the waves that we built. From the early 2000s up to now. Just it's sad just watching some of this stuff. Like, it's just like, it's real fake,
Is there, and because I don't I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You might have a quicker answer than I do. I'm thinking Church of the Art. Is there
North Star?
North Star. Are there venues around here that are artist owned?
Yeah. So I can only speak on what I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that much invested into other people's businesses to know like the full scope of how things work. North Star, I really support North Star. I rock with North Star. I know a lot of people that run that space. I've also had like art installments in North Star, and I think what they're doing is a very beautiful thing, and I think that if more people would follow that approach, like you would be shocked. Like we would see some great things happening in this area. It's actually. It's dope how they support local artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, local is the forefront, and the artists, when artists have installments like through North Star, like they come out feeling just relieved and feel rejuvenated.
Wow.
Like I work with in the past year, I've worked with a couple artists, one by the name of Derek Beasley. I can't even to put Derek in. You can follow him on Instagram, Brobees, BROBEAS. It would be a disservice to just call him an artist. Like he's so many different things, like he's an alchemist, it's like he's taking raw materials and turning them into like different things, like it don't matter if it's cast iron, if it's wood, metal, gold, like dirt, he's into agriculture, he's into holistic living, he's a poet, like
so many things.
So many things, and we did a collaboration this past year. Grounded Possibilities. It was powerful. Another person. Man, I'm forgetting names right now. My buddy Tristan. We did a play. He's a playwright, and also just calling him a playwright, that's also a disservice. Right. He does so many other things, like he's a playwright, he's a poet, he's a dancer, a choreographer, activist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like really out here, fighting, for so many different things. Fighting for justice in his own artistic way. Had a beautiful play called They Do Not Know Harlan, centered around the life and works of James Baldwin. And
I saw some. I saw some things on that. Is that still out?
So we started off doing installments of the piece. Every time we did an installment, like it evolved. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It got more intense. It got more deep.
Yeah.
But the beginnings for me, and it was an ongoing thing before I got involved. I got involved as a music director.
Okay.
So the first installments that I was involved in took place at North Star, and it was powerful. Like it literally felt like I was in church, like good church, like church that I grew up on. Where, ain't no smoke machines, ain't none of that. You got the people, you got the Lord, and you got them pews. You know what I'm saying? You got them hymns, and that's what it felt like. So it was rejuvenating for me. And I told Tristan, before Tristan called me, like I was on this hiatus because I was just feeling really indifferent about the art and my place in art and in music, and it rejuvenated my inspiration. It caused me to dive more deeper into film and into theater.
Interesting. Okay, so a question kind of off of that is, we're talking about North Star and plays and all of that. How, as a question to you from an idea standpoint, how do we get more genres in the triangle, more genres to blend together?
It's already happening.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's already happening. So I was talking to one of my homies, my homie Jared from Atlanta. Jared's a dope bassist, Jared Alexander. And I'm sorry, make sure you follow Tristan Andre as well. Follow Tristan Andre on Instagram. My friend Jared Alexander, incredible bassist, plays with some really dope musicians, touring bassist, all of that, producer, engineer, all of that stuff. We were talking about how one of his buddies is a producer and who was really making moves, still is making moves in Atlanta, for some of the rappers that we all know, and how this particular producer is taking a shift, is taking a pivot into country music.
Interesting.
And the thing is, and I know you a country man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
So if you notice something about like contemporary country right now, like like how the music sounds, there's a lot more 808s.
Yep.
You know,
it is starting to blend.
It's got
big
some,
time.
You know, like some of these artists, they put in trap snares.
In
their music. You know what I'm saying? So it's all coming together. And what is the commonality? Black music.
Black music.
Black music is the commonality. Black artistic creativity. Like it's all kind of it's causing all of these different boxes to culminate. You know, one thing about our people, we know how to bring people together.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's
like the irony is that, this country has, people in this country have worked so hard to like separate us from like the country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
It's like through segregation, through Jim Crow, through slavery. All of these things to just kind of
to diminish who we are and our impact.
Exactly. And it's just like we always are like our influence is always the catalyst, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always the the enhancer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we got the seasoning, bro.
Yeah. I mean, look at hip hop in itself. Like if you just drop that,
and the thing is, what's sad is that you got a lot of people, even on a local level, that benefit from like making these genres like separate from everything else, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want this to sound like an attack on like preservationists, you know what I'm saying? I don't want this to make it. I'm not attacking the boom bap community, you know what I'm saying? I'm not attacking the jazz purists, like I'm not attacking, I understand that has a place, but the thing is though, it's like, it's people out here that's really like bringing stuff together. One thing, I always felt was important to me. Like when I moved to the city, it's like to know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you wouldn't just catch me at the straight ahead jazz session. You wouldn't just catch me out there like at the open mics. Like you're gonna catch me there. I'm also at the Cave. You know what I'm saying? In Chapel Hill.
In Chapel Hill.
With like,
Franklin,
with the alternative people, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm also hanging out with the athletes. I'm hanging out with the popular people in college and stuff. I'm hanging out with some politicians. I'm hanging out with some venue owners. It's like
you're diversifying yourself.
Yeah, I'm diversifying myself, and that's because as an artist, what are we in it for if we're not in it to bring people together? And it's like
the same 8 notes, right?
And it's like what is it about this society that has us so scared to get outside of our box?
Yeah.
But that's how our society,
we try to. I think slightly some of it is a little bit of human nature. But it's
also power, though.
Yeah, right. Like human nature is power, and you kind of try to get that power by putting things in boxes.
Yeah.
And if you can put things in boxes, and you can kind of manipulate those boxes, whatever it is in life, then you can maintain a certain level of power.
Bro, I used to play in church, and this was probably like my last experience playing in church. And it was just kind of weird because it was just weird seeing like the dynamic between like the musicians and like, it's like the pastor and like the pastor's aide and stuff like that. It would almost be like, dudes would be scared to like talk directly to the pastor, or like talk directly to the pastor's aide and stuff like that. But I also realized that for a lot of these like churches, especially like these bigger churches, they benefit from like the power complex. You know what I'm saying? It's that whole like before you see me, you got to see this person, you got to see that person. Like I wasn't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up in church, the pastor sat with the congregation doing praise and worship and testimonials. The pastor gave the sermon. Like when everything was over, the pastor would be in front of the church greeting people as people come out. You know what I'm saying? That's just one experience of many. Because you can't talk about like the music community and not talk about the church.
Let's be real about that. Let's be real about it.
A lot of these R&B cats, like they come from the church.
Most of them. If you want to be real about it.
And it's just it's like they the church scene has like also its weirdness as well, as far as just like power complex, and it's like not a lot of musicians are playing in church, and they just they really, the artist in them is like crying out, but it's in the confinements of like being under people,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like supporting people. And that's one thing I feel like about the music scene as a whole. Like one thing I will say about like the open mic scene, it's like not singling out any one specific person, but it just feels like as far as like musicians, people playing the instruments, like they need more of the floor. You know what I'm saying? It's like and this once again, this is not no shade or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate that it highlights some vocalists and stuff like that, but you know, at the same time, you know, we have to ask, are we raising a culture that's not hearing it on both sides? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a communicative disconnect between singers and vocalists and instrumentalists? Because I hear it in, like, you know, how we talk to each other. Some people call instrumentalists musicians, and people call vocalists singers. You know what I'm saying? Like, are vocalists / singers not musicians as well?
Yeah, that's a powerful question.
You know, is their voice not an instrument?
That's a powerful question.
You know what I'm saying? So like, even like when I was in school, I was in the marching band in high school. They would refer to the horn players as the band, and they would refer to the drum line as the drum line. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it not like, you know, the band? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it not all the bands? Like, band go over here, drum line gonna have a, you know, it's like, it's just weird.
Are we not all the band?
Yeah. It's power in how we say things.
You know? No, that's real. That's real, especially when you think about the instrumentalists and open mics and just that space to create and the appreciation of that.
Bro, like, people be like, you know, it's like, sometimes I just don't feel like playing. I go to these places I support. Sometimes I just don't feel like playing, especially I'm not getting paid to play.
I mean,
you know
right.
You know, sometimes
you're at that level.
You bring your horn. You gonna play a horn? You know, every once in a while I'll be like, yeah, I will. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I want to play. You don't even got to ask me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to just hop on. But like, a lot of situations I've gone to, like, a lot of these places, and it's like, man, as soon as I whip my horn out and play something, it's like, yo, it's like 5 or 6 singers singing over me. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, like, you know, so, and I understand where that comes from, because, you know, there's a whole nother struggle for, like, vocalists to find their place in the music, you know, and it's great to see, like, all of these vocalists, you know, like, doing it. Like, vocalists are winning right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm super proud, because a lot of these vocalists are, like, my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, who you know, who have had to fight, and a lot of them are women. You know what I'm saying? Who have also had to fight for equity in this male-dominated scene. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't get it twisted. You know, it's like, I can critique stuff and still support people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. Like, it's important to have that mindset if you want growth.
That's so big to me, man. That's so big. I'm actually glad you just made that last statement right there. You can critique something and still support.
Yeah, and that is support.
Yeah, that is support. Like, and a critique isn't always negative. Like, you critique something and to bring a different viewpoint. For sure. And have a larger conversation, because you can be right. Two things can be true at the same time. You can be right and I can be right, but we can still have a larger conversation. We all exist.
Yeah.
And you know, especially when you deal in certain industries like what we're talking about right now, you have to be able to take criticism in whatever word, you know, whatever way you want to say it.
Let's say that conversation with our politicians.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You know, which seems like to be like, you know, right now, since that's like the trending topic, you know, it's like, you know, you gotta, you know, they struggle with taking criticism because it's a power complex. The higher you go up the chain, you know what I'm saying, up the political ladder, you know, it's like the more entitlement that's associated with that, you know. So it's like the irony that you have these people that have these public servant roles that we put into office that are supposed to be working for us.
For us, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just like, oh, you can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a president. I'm the senator. I'm a governor. You know, it's like, yo, it's kind of wild, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of wild, and it's like, you know, the way that it leaves people feeling powerless. You know, and also it just breeds this ground for, you know, this savior complex, where it's like it makes, you know, it's creating an environment where people feel like it has to be somebody to save us. And ain't nobody really producing that right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like the people that were really effective at that, a lot of them died. You know what I'm saying?
Right. True.
A lot of them got, you know, a lot of them got taken out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even those people that got taken out, it's like I question if they were ever trying to be anybody's savior in the first place.
That's what I was about to say. How do you feel about this whole savior complex?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I think the savior complex is developed by two things. One is how people as a whole consume, you know, how we consume things, you know, and two is how, you know, like media powers that be, you know, how they feed things to us.
We were talking before the show, kind of off mic, about propaganda.
Yeah.
And just kind of how, you know, over the years, propaganda has always been a thing. But it's
for sure.
But
it's
like
a moneymaker.
It's a moneymaker. And like now we're in a time that it's almost like imploding on itself. Like what we're seeing happening to this country is largely due to propaganda and its use on itself.
Hey,
you know?
I don't know if you saw that last presidential debate.
You know, unfortunately, I did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we watched it in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, my daughter came in the room. My daughter's in middle school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she's 13. So it's like, you know, new teenager. You know what I'm saying? It's like her brain's starting to operate a little differently. She can see things a little different. You know, we watching the debate, and she's just like, yo, they sound like some schoolyard kids.
That's a fact.
You know, and it's sad on two sides. It's sad because on one end, you know, you got these important, rich, powerful figures that are supposed to be talking about how to make our lives better as a whole, how to make the community better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all, like,
we talking about golf swing.
We talking about golf. You know what I'm saying?
Golf swing,
man.
We
talking about golf. Oh, my golf swing better than yours. Like, how you gonna tell me, man? I've taken golf lessons from the finest.
Right? Like that's that's what we talking about.
That's what we talking about. You know, it's like, oh, my shoe size bigger than yours. Like, it's weird. And also, you know, it's cool because I think like the people as a whole, you know, like people in our country are starting to wake up and realize like, whoa, like, you know, this is kind of wild right now, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, you could look at the receipts, bro. Like you can look on social media and just see like now you can see somebody do something on TV and within like 5 seconds, it's like thousands of comments
and memes. The internet is fast. The internet is fast.
Bro, quick draw McGraw, dog.
The internet is fast. But no, like I mean, I totally agree with you. Like, you know, this whole presidential thing and like the debate, like I said, unfortunately, I watched it. And it's sad for me on multiple levels in the sense of these are supposed to be the people that are leading us, right? And no matter how you feel about either candidate, whatever it is.
Who you voting for? No, do not answer that question. Don't answer. Yo, you almost took the bait.
I almost took the bait.
Don't answer that question.
I mean, bro. I'm quick on it. But excuse me about that one. But one of the things that's sad to me about this whole shooting match is in my opinion, there's a lot of smart people in America.
For sure.
There's a lot, like just from a numbers perspective. We're talking about raw numbers. And
I hate to cut you off, but isn't it like so unfortunate that a lot of those smart people don't get put into positions where they can really like impact the world?
That's my frustration. You know, there's a lot of smart people from a lot of places, but I'm going to use something that everybody can understand. Just an easy understand. We have a lot of Ivy League schools in this country.
Okay.
Harvard, Stanford, Yale, all these places, right? From the bachelor's degree to the law degree to the PhD.
Yeah.
There's a graduating class every year. Mm-hmm. None of those people are qualified. And I'm just using an easy example. We got 4-year college. We got colleges and politicians all over the country. Governors, mayors, senators, state representatives. And those were the two people we have on stage. Like that makes absolutely no sense to me.
What's scary to me is it's not even like those two people. It's like the people that rally behind them. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, when we talk, once again, we talking about power. Once you get to a certain level, you know, I think because I ain't at that level.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
ain't nowhere near that level. I don't have no interest in being at that level.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm that, but from a numbers perspective, there's a lot of people at that level.
Yeah, but you know, it's like to maintain whatever you trying to maintain at that level, I would imagine that it's more or less about being smart and it's more so about being agreeable.
True. But once again, like all of the good qualities that you would need, or even the not so good qualities that you got to use to get where you're trying to go, all of those qualities, from a numbers perspective, there has to be at least 10 people that fit that. that are better than what we got.
Bro, like at this point, like I ain't got nobody else on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like normally, you know what I'm saying? You got the team that's on the floor, and it's like you got riders on the bench. It's like, yo, put me in the game.
Like, I'm ready to go.
I don't know if they don't have anybody else on the bench.
I've been in the gym working. Give me my
everybody
chance.
on the bench, like, man, I ain't trying. I ain't no sharpshooter. I ain't a sharpshooter, bro. Like, like I can't hit that 3, dog.
I can't hit it.
Like they're not trying to get that buzzer beater. Maybe it's because as a whole, like, you know, like the value in just, you know, like just value as a whole is diminishing, you know, because I grew up poor, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I know what it's like to be in the gutter, and even still I grew up around friends that were poorer than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Understand.
And I also, like, you know, I've had a wonderful pleasure to meet like rich people in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I know some people that are a few people that are like wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like if you're all of those things and you live in this country, like everybody's struggling for some reason. It just seems like everybody's struggling. Yeah. You know, at least everybody I know. You know, maybe I haven't tapped into the people that's like, yo, I ain't struggling with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I think everybody feeling it. In everybody.
Yeah.
This is a human problem this moment. Yeah, so, we talking about golf on stage.
And that's why I don't get so caught up. Like, if we talking about like the music community getting so caught up with like, you know, the blame game.
Right.
You know,
right,
it's
right,
like
right.
musicians be wanting to blame like people that own the venues for like, man, well, you know, like venues need to allow us to play in their facilities. They have a choice.
Right.
You know, so it's like I can't be mad that there's like literally, you know, we're not even calling no names. It's like how many venues do you know of in Durham that offer live music?
There you go.
Like no, like answer my question.
That offer live music?
Yeah, they offer live music.
There's a couple. There's a few.
Like when you say a few, like you talking like more than 5, less than 10, more than 10, less than 20?
Oh, less than 20. We're talking 10 or less.
Okay. How many musicians have you met? You know what I'm saying? Like since you moved here. How many bands have you been put on to?
I understand where you're going.
Not just talking R&B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just talking hip hop, not just talking jazz. You know what I'm saying? Like alternative, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I follow where you're going. Hence why we like to try to support the places that are doing it. Because in Durham, I would definitely go less than 10.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you know, it's like now we live in an age where like really, you know, like what we competing with, what I feel like artists
on a consistent basis.
What I feel like artists are competing with right now is it's not even competition. Like people think it's competition amongst bands and stuff. That is silly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what we're competing with is the masses like even acknowledging art as something that's important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we competing with AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
yeah.
To be a producer, all you got to do is like, if you pay $9.99 a month, you can get you a subscription to one of these apps that offers like license-free drums, license-free instrumentals and stuff. Like you can just drag a little instrumental over and, you know, put some lyrics behind it, you know, sing behind it. That's your song.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
you can do it on your iPad real fast, on your phone, on your iPad, any of it.
There's no need for you to call me. You know, there's no need for you to call me to put a horn section together. You can get horn plugins.
Yeah.
And have those uploaded to your computer, and you're playing like what I'm supposed to be playing. What was my job? You're playing that on your keyboard.
Yeah.
And punching that in. All you gotta do is have like, you know, basic piano knowledge.
Yeah. That's a fact.
You know, that's what we competing with. We competing with my son started a juice business just recently. So, you know, if y'all following me out there, make sure you follow me, support my son. His name is Eden. He's taking up the business. You know, I started juicing during the pandemic, and you know, he's into it now. So, you know, he's got a few pre-orders right now. So I'm gonna be making juice this weekend.
Wow.
Well, no, I take that back. He's gonna be making juice.
There you go.
Because
there
you
you
know,
go.
I'm trying to teach him the importance of you gotta do it on your own, bro.
Yeah, that's
you know
good.
What I'm saying? This is your business. You gotta take care of your baby.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I veered off. Well, what I was saying is like, so so I've been kind of just helping him with like logo ideas and stuff like that. And, and I was like just trying to figure it out. I'm on this app and I'm just like, you know, putting stuff together. He's putting stuff together on the app too. We're working together, and we found some good ideas, and you know, like we uploaded the ideas, and then like I just thought like, man, like why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like I should be hitting up my homie Colin.
That is a graphic designer.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I should be hitting up my homie Taji, who's like, you know, who's also a dope artist. You know, make sure you follow Art by Colin. Make sure you follow Black Onion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many other like, you know, visual artists who do stuff. You know, I should be hitting up, you know, Artie Barksdale. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should be hitting up Malcolm Goff. You know, like, you know, like some of these artists in our community to help with these things. But it's like, man, I'm on this app, bro, because you know what I'm saying? I pay $9 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like they give me all this license free stuff, and it's like I'm cutting corners, but it's like I'm cutting corners because, bro, like, you know, the money ain't there. You know what I'm saying? The money funny right now. You know, and it's like this idea is like, well, you know, if I study and show myself prove, if I make the sacrifices now, that I'll get the money and I'll be able to like put all my homies on. And I feel like that's what's happening with music. You know, that's why it's getting a lot worse as far as like the equity, because I don't know, you know, I be around. It's like I don't always be out, but I be around. It's like the money be a lot more funny now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it seems like musicians are getting paid less, you know, with more expectations now. You know, it's like, you know, people thought it was getting better like after the pandemic, you know, but also like people not really going out like that.
That's true. That's the other piece of it.
You know, people also not really going out like that. People not, you know, going. What's going to encourage people to go to the bar? You know, if you know the pandemic taught you, you know, all you gotta do is make that trip to the ABC store and go ahead and build that bar inside your crib, the little bar quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Like people still functioning off of that time.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting take. That's a very interesting take about like, you know, I use the word a lot, ecosystem and economy and ecosystem. You know, music industry, venues, and all that kind of stuff, which we've been talking about, but like. You asked a really important question, like how many venues around offer live music? And that's one of the things we've been trying to unpack and figure out why, where is the live music? And why is it here? Why is it not there? Why is this business owner choosing to do it or not do it consistently? And a lot of times it goes, I've talked to a couple different owners who like tried the live music thing and then they kind of went away from it. A lot of times they say it's return on investment. I want to pay the artist what they're worth, but then, you know, I don't have enough people in the seat to cover. And how do we as a community figure out that conundrum?
Man, honestly, man, if I knew the answer, like I would it would be free game right now. But I mean, all we can do is continue to address the issues. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the venues want their return of investment, right? Okay. They want to know that they can call this band and they can make money. At the same time, bro, like the artists are scared to charge tickets.
Right.
The musicians are scared to charge tickets. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reality.
And that's the reality, bro. Like I had this Crusaders tribute show, you know, last year that I was pubbing for. Yo, it was sick. I got footage at the crib. We had a couple rehearsals at the crib, man. Like this is about to be epic. It's about to be a movie. But I pulled the plug on it like a few days before because I didn't get the ticket pre-sales. You know, and it's just like for over a month, it's just like I'm pubbing, and it's like I'm making videos, content, and that's another thing. You know, it's like when we talk about like the pay is lower and the expectations are higher. It's like now the expectation is like you're a musician, you gotta be a content.
You gotta be a content.
Right, that's a whole nother field, bro. Bro, I never wanted to be a content creator. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. But that's not what I want to do.
It's not what you want to do.
Yeah, it's not what I want to do. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pubbing, doing all of this stuff, you know, getting reception, people liking the videos, people seeing it and stuff like that.
But the ticket sales didn't match.
But the ticket sales didn't match, you know? And for me, like I had such a respect for the people that were, you know, a part of this. Like I had some titans, bro, like that were a part of this show, you know, and I told them out of respect, it's like, yo, I'm gonna have to decline this show, bro, because you know, it wasn't about the money. To a certain extent, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, cause you gotta care about the money. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the music business, you gotta
care about that to keep it going. But then it's also like doing justice to the show.
Doing justice to the show. It's like, you know, we need people to be here. Like we need people to be here, and if people, And at this point, I know my worth. It's like I know how dope I am. I know what I've contributed to this area. You know what I'm saying? Like not even being cocky, bro. It's like like
it's just a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing, bro. I've contributed a lot, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I made a lot of sacrifices, bro. I've sacrificed my own peace for like the idea of like making, you know, a more vibrant community for the people that live in it. You know, it's like accessible art. You know, and it's just like, okay, are y'all not coming to this show because the tickets are too high, or is it because you have to pay at all, anything at all? Because the reality is, it's like artists be trying to ticket shows, but it's like at the same time you playing next week for free at the such and such. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the hard part. I've noticed that one as well. Not saying I have an answer or not, or even an opinion about it, but it's that concept of like you want to charge $20 on Friday, but on Wednesday
we free $99. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and it's got to be space for all of it, but like how do you keep that value up?
Yeah, like for me, bro, like I'm one of the reasons why like I'm not playing at as many venues, on top of there not being a whole lot of venues to play at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just need a break from just like people policing my ish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People telling me like, you know, this I shouldn't charge, or this is how much I should charge, or you should play at this venue, or you should play at that venue. It's just like feeling like I got to go through these loopholes just to share something that y'all said was dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I know my worth because people remind me of my worth every day. You know, and I hope those people are honest with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, what is it? You know, like, I've been talking to some homies about just kind of because there's also, you know, I like to be open-minded, you know, about like situations that involve like tons of people, but also being open-minded also means acknowledging that there are definitely some culture vultures out here and some people that are really trying to exploit us and what we do. And it's like, I'm trying to get as far away from those people as possible. Like I'm trying to like disassociate from those people, you know, but it seems like those are also people that are like power hungry, that are trying to have their hands in every little thing. And it's just like, you know, it's like, why I got to go through this person to be even acknowledged or like be considered to play at these spots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's,
it's like, bro, like I'm my own entity. And then it's like, you know, and then it's like, if I do agree, it's like, I got to do things within the confinements of what this person wants.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, like, so we policing art now. Like the gift came from God, bro. Like the gift came from God. And we policing that?
Hey, this is America, Jack. Hey man, I appreciate you for being on here. We're at the bottom of our hour, and man, I got told, if you weren't listening at the beginning of the show, I said this is gonna be an interesting conversation, and you're gonna be posing a whole bunch of concepts and ideas and having a conversation that goes way beneath the surface.
Ain't nobody gonna hurt you, Cam. You good, bro. You good. Yo, if I ruffle some fingers, ain't nobody gonna hurt you, bro. I got you.
No, I love it. I love these conversations, and a lot of these questions we have, they don't really have answers, but they are conversations that have to be had. And Alan, I appreciate you for coming in today and doing this with us, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And I hope that you know, we once again, I know we got to head out. You know, in this world where like you know, like radio is becoming less of a thing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just pray for like a special covering like over what you're doing, because I see you out. You're one of the very few people that I see that's like you behind that seat. I was behind that seat at one point in time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're also out there in the field, you know, like with us. Yeah. You know, like really trying to get to know people. Something that I've been trying to encourage to like a lot of these, you know, these stations and these brands. Like, yo, if you want it to grow, it's like you got to be out there amongst the people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I see you doing that, and because of that, I know that this is gonna grow. Like, man, I'm gonna try to do whatever it is in my power to protect what you got going on. You feel me? Man, you being here is all I can ever ask, man. I appreciate you. Look, man, we gonna be overtime. Steven back there throwing spitballs at us, man. Oh, he mad. Yeah. We gotta okay. Get on up out of here. Hey, look, Alan, I appreciate you. I appreciate the listeners for tuning in. And, you know, we'll be back here next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Look, next week is our playlist show. We got a bill of artists. Okay. Couple more slots to go. So if you hadn't got in, you can sing your music in before Sunday, this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. And we'll be able to slide you in there and make something happen. So, look, y'all be safe out there. This has been Cam McCarty with Oak 93.5 WRLY. And like I like to say, let's go live. Peace.